You can always hear all kinds of rhetorics. Chinese economy was going to collapse. Like Economist, Wall Street Journal, and New York Times, and so on. But the fact China is the only country in the past 45 years did not encounter a systematic crisis. I'd like to provide my understanding. How come it was possible for China to grow so fast after 1978? And the answer to the first question seems to be so simple, then become a puzzle.
喺睇片之前，大家記得分享、讚好同訂閱灼見名家，最緊要撳埋呢個鐘仔，咁你就唔會錯過我哋嘅最新影片。
Thank you for such a nice introduction of myself, Dr. Li, and thank you for your invitation to speak on a topic has been dear to my heart since I was a little boy. That is China's rejuvenation. As you know, after China was defeated at Opium War in 1840, rejuvenation of the nation has been a dream for the Chinese people, always. And this dream seems to be too far away, not until reform and opening up started in 1978. And as you know, after the reform and opening up, the development in China is a miracle in the human history. The average annual growth rate in the past 45 years was 8.9%. We never observed such a high growth rate to be sustained for such a long time in any nation or in any period of time. And as a result of that rapid growth, the economic size in China expanded 47 times. And China now is the second largest economy in the world, measured by market exchange rate. And if we measure the economic size by purchasing power parity, China is the largest economy in the world. And China is also the largest trading country in the world. China is the #1 trading partner for more than 140 countries in the world, and the second largest trading partners for another 60 countries and so on. And during this period of time, more than 800 million people were lifted from poverty, according to the UN World Bank standards. And now China's dream, China's goal, is to become a modern, advanced, strong country by the time of 2049, the centennial of the founding of the People's Republic. And in spite of these remarkable achievements, you can always hear all kinds of rhetorics. Chinese economy was going to collapse very soon. And every several years, you heard those kind of analysis by the major journalists like Economist, Wall Street Journal, and New York Times and so on, Financial Times, so on. And they give you all kinds of very convincing evidence that China cannot sustain growth. But the fact is that China is the only country in the past 45 years did not encounter a systematic crisis. All other major economies, they all encountered crises, but China did not. And so in my talk, I like to provide my understanding. How come it was possible for China to grow so fast after 1978? And certainly I also need to answer, how come China could not have a similar performance before 1978? Although the goal has been the same, always. But how come before 1978, the performance in China was quite poor? And I also like to analyze, how come, retrospectively, the growth, the stability in China has been so outstanding? But how come so many people, including authority in economics and journalists, they always say China is going to collapse in spite of the high growth in the past, but China cannot sustain growth. And by respected economists, how come they always predict China's growth cannot be sustained? And lastly, I'd like to provide my forecast for my prediction. Whether China will be able to achieve the dream of becoming a modern, advanced, strong country by the time of 1949. For the first question, how it was possible for China to grow so fast for so long? We need to understand the nature of economic growth is continuous technological innovation and industrial upgrading. And after industrial revolution, the new technology as well as new industries have been driven the economic growth in all the industrial power. Secondly, China, if China wants to achieve similar growth, China will have to have continuous technological innovation and industrial upgrading. This nature of growth is the same for any country, no matter they are advanced country or they are developing country. The drivers, the mechanism are the same, but they're one thing different. That is, the only industrial powers after the Industrial Revolution, they have always been the advanced country. And as they always had the highest income, highest productivity in the world. And that made them to be so powerful. And since they already have such a high productivity, that means they already use the best technology. They already produce in the highest value-added industries. And for them, if they want to have a technological innovation or industrial upgrading, they will have to invent the new technology and invent the new industries by themselves. And we know invention requires huge investment and also very risky. And by the invention for new technology, invention for new industries, the advanced country in the past 100 and more years, only average their per capita GDP growth rate was 2%. This has been very stable since the mid-19th century for all industrial power like UK, like Germany, like France, or like US. This has been very stable, around 2%. Plus population growth, their average annual growth rate was around 3%. And for a developing country like China, there's a better way for technology, innovation, and industrial upgrading. Because for a developing country like China, our income level is low. That means our technology was not so advanced. And our value added to our industry was not so high. And so-called technological innovation means in the next period of time, you use some technology better than the technology you use now. So industrial upgrading that means you go to industry, which have higher value added than the value added of the industry you are producing now. And since as a low-income country, China has a technological gap, industrial gap with the other country. So China could learn, China could import, China could license the better technology. It's a way for the technological innovation and industrial upgrading. This seems to be so simple. And according to the Growth Commission, headed by Nobel Prize laureates Michael Spence and Robert Solow, after the Second World War, there are 13 developing economies finding a way to tap into this potential called the latecomers advantages. They achieved 7% or more growth rate continuously for 25 or more years. As I mentioned, for the American country, their growth rate was around 3%. And if you can achieve 7% or more, that means your growth rate was double, triple of the advanced country. And certainly, you can rapidly narrow the gap with the advanced country. And luckily, China became one of those 13 economies after 1978. China started to tap into the potential of latecomers advantages. And in a way, Hong Kong business community helped a lot. They relocate labor-intensive industry to China. Those are mature industry, but it was better than the industry in China. And those abroad, better technology than the technology used in China, and help China to have a technological innovation industrial upgrading. So my answer to the first question should be simple. Rely on the latecomer advantage to drive technology innovation and industrial upgrading. And the answer to the first question seems to be so simple, then become a puzzle. How come before 1978, China did not benefit from these latecomers advantages? Because after the Industrial Revolution in the West, China has been lagging behind for 1 and 2 centuries. And the gap, the latecomer advantage has been there. And how come China did not benefit from that? Because if you look in 1978, the per capita GDP in China, according to the World Bank, was 156 US dollars. And for the average per capita GDP of sub-Saharan African country, in 1978, the per capita GDP was 495 US dollars. China was one of the poorest countries. China's per capita GDP was less than 1/3 of the average in the sub-Saharan African country. The potential has been there, and how come China did not benefit from that?
中意名家分析，記得俾 like 同埋分享，支持同訂閱灼見名家，最緊要撳埋呢個鐘仔，咁就唔會錯過我哋嘅新片。